Way Southeast.
And Faith Time is our weekly conversation on matters of faith. Ministers or pastors start with a calling. The University of Mobile has a focus on that. President Dr. Lonnie Burnett is here to talk about that. So what is the Center for Christian Calling?
Focus on three things. First of all, the students are called to Christ. That's the most basic, the Christian worldview, the Christian theology. But then they're called to ministry, and then they're called to leadership. It's kind of a progression through our program, but the calling is more of a practical ministry type thing we're looking at.
Why focus on this?
Well, it seems like, students, when they graduate, they're 21, 22 years old. They go to a church. They've got very sound theological background, very sound scriptural sermon prep, things like that. But there's practical things. For example, how do you handle a budget? How do you handle, grief counseling? How do you handle angry deacons meetings, if those things exist? How do you handle problems in the church that you may not be expecting?
That's an interesting thing to bring up. Your theological background is probably strong once you're out of your educational phase of it. But how do you teach those human lessons and those practical ministry skills?
Well, that's where internships come in handy. What I want to do is get our ministry students into the churches. Internships, I want them to see what goes on behind the scenes. We all know what a pastor does on Sunday mornings, but it's such a detailed and stressful job. What goes on Monday through Friday is a big part of ministry. I want to make sure students know what pastors do. Again, running the church, it's not just on Sunday morning preaching, but you've got to actually run the church. You've got to be a CEO, so to speak, of that church.
Now.